Hello all, welcome to yet another video of mine, and thank you so much for being such a wonderful audience as it encourages me to create more such videos. And today's topic is again a continuation of the previous video that I had created about what is context and why is it so important for any conversation. So so you have this conversation, you are at a meeting with your client, and you have introduced yourself. The next logical step is setting the context. Now, to quickly recap, what is a context? It's a virtual environment or a boundary that you set so that all the conversation happens within that boundary. And the advantages that it offers is it kind of helps you stay focused, it helps connect with your audience better, and it brings relevance to the whole conversation, because now whatever will be discussed will have to be within that purview of the context. And number 5, there is no judgment here, and so you are absolutely safe to discuss, question, argue about that topic which is setting the context. For example, if we are there to discuss about the challenges that the industries are facing when it comes to technology, say something like that, then all the conversation would happen within that and nothing outside of it, which means you will not talk about politics or not about weather or anything else. It will be just about those challenges and everything related to that. Okay, so that is what context helps us do. Now, once you have set the context, what is the next logical step? So here is where I would like to bring your focus to my mind node. So if you look at my mind node here, so my mind node is like this. I'll just make it a little smaller, 75%. Yeah. So this is how my mind map looks like. So to have any meaningful conversation, step 1 is to set the context. I just now defined what the context is and the advantages that it offers. Now the next logical step is to ask questions. Yes, you got to develop this skill of asking questions if you want to have a conversation that that you can control. Questions let you control the conversation. It helps you to head in the direction that you want it to go. Okay, so once you know that, okay, the questions help you in a certain direction, now what are the types of questions that you can ask? So you got to frame your questions in a certain manner, and for that there are certain do's and don'ts. Okay, the don'ts are: do not be critique. Do not be a critique in asking questions. That means do not ask questions like what is failing in your organization, what is not working, and all that. So that is a very it's a very critique kind of a question, and which people will not like because they have not yet started trusting you so much. Okay, so instead of asking such questions, why don't frame it in a manner that generates curiosity, that stirs imagination, that kind of helps generate interest. Okay, so for example, you have a product that you are there to meet a prospect and to talk about and it's in the space of productivity. Say you have a product which solves productivity related issues in an organization. So how would you so you have set the context, and now next logical step is you have to ask questions. So what kind of questions would you be asking? So here are some of the questions that you could ask. You could say that, what do you think inspires your employees to come to work every day? What are those practices that you have that makes your environment so collaborative? Okay, when you ask questions such as that, such as these, then automatically it generates curiosity amidst your audience, and they kind of like to start participating, which means that it improves your client engagement, and which is what you want. You want your client to engage in a conversation so that they share more and you gather more information so that you can serve them well. Okay, so selling is all about serving. So once you start serving them well, sale automatically happens, because then once you engage in a conversation and find information about all this through these kind of questions, you will naturally come to know that what are the gaps, right? And once you know what are the gaps, you can always address them, saying that okay, these are your gaps and that's how my product will address. So you get this win-win situation, like you also win and so does the audience. And that is accomplished by asking right kind of questions. So develop the skill of asking questions. This needs some kind of a practice, and if you need help there, then feel free to write to me or join my private group, because we have a private group where we talk about all these things so that we can have impactful and meaningful conversations. Thank you once again, and I look forward to your comments.